My country people, things they happen for this life. Everything where we don't hear today, our ear they pain also. Concerning waiting the prophetess of Yul Edochie come tell us for the media space. Say in tell Yul from the beginning when be say Judy Austin. Say Judy Austin won't buy Yul picking. In tell Yul say make Yul come join and make them pray so that made that person make Judy Austin not fit buy Yul Edochie picking. And the reason why she they come out now because say that same thing where they complain about, where in the vision where in see before now, say the vision is about to take place. Say that same thing be like say it won't happen again. Make it not be say anything happen to me Edochie pikin. So she they send a warning in advance to them. Say, make them not let anything happen to me Edochie pikin. So right now, my country people, make it not be like saying me they talk because I want to make all of una sit down, make una sit down, make una watch this very video because it get as it take play for person here. Say Judy Austin, they look for her and want to say me Edochie pikin go underground. Now waiting the woman talk with the woman say Judy Austin's aim is to make sure say now only her children now go come be the first children. Remember, Judy Austin also drop am for the media. I remember very well. Say she talk and say she now Queen Bathsheba. Say she be the mother of Solomon. My people, I bet make una watch this video. Make una watch and make una
for the
drop una opinions for the comment section. I want for this life. So make una watch am.
So, yes, thank you so much for the question. Actually, I'm not somebody who has ever come on live to do clarifications to anything before. I'm not somebody who has ever come online to say the things that goes behind back doors or the things that God has used us to do as a ministry, as a person. I actually caused this alarm because the same vision that I saw that led to my calling Yul Edochie is what I saw again today. And the last time,
I mean, it's what I saw again this time. And the last time that I saw it and told him he did not do nothing. What was your question again?
I said, did you speak to
Yes.
Yul? And
Yes.
what did you speak to him about?
Yes, thanks for that question. Yes, I actually did.
So I would like to show with a kind of some evidence here and all. Last year, I nobody would say they've seen me comment or anything on on the social medias and everything. I'm a very peaceful person and very private person. But last year, what happened?
What happened in 2023 last year? Sometimes around February. That's why I'm going to show it here because I didn't show all the screenshot. Okay, can you see this? Okay, this is my phone.
Yeah.
If you see this on
February
20, on February 12, on the
February 3rd, I tested Yul Edochie, and the text here is, hi, Mr. Yul Edochie, I'm Pastor Francisca Emmanuel. I would like to have an audience with you at your convenience tomorrow. Thank you and God bless you. So he responded, a few hours later and said, okay, thank you. So I didn't respond because of my busy schedules and everything. But the next day, which was on the 4th of February, I gave him like a thank you, notification. But I didn't call again because I knew that what I wanted to speak with him was, it's something that would require, a lot of time. I have to be in the spirit to tell him what I want to tell him, so that he can understand.
So what happened is he now said, okay, and on the 5th of February is when I had the time, by the grace of God, is when I now had the time to call Yul Edochie, and we spoke. Actually, that day we spoke for over like 30 to 40 minutes, actually. So I told him the revelations I had, certain things, revelations I gave to him. Some I would not want to review here and all. But I spoke to him that on the 5th, for a long time. As a matter of fact, because I was carried away with the things I told him, I dropped the call. He did not drop the call. I dropped the call. I said, okay, I'll talk to you again. And I forgot to pray with him. And that is not in my nature. Whenever I have a conversation with anybody, I actually pray with them, at the end of what we have said. So I had to text him. I said, hey, I don't know if you saw my screenshot.
This was now the text message on the 5th. I now said, I forgot to pray with you. I am sorry, but as I dropped the phone, I did pray with you. And I also told him, because of what I have told him, I told him that I am praying that God will also reveal the truth to you of what you need to know. That was my conversation with him. And I said, I'll continue to pray for you. Just know that we love you because, at things you have to encourage people. And I would like to say it here that Yolo Doche is not a bad person. That guy, it's unfortunate the things that has happened, but when you talk to Yolo Doche, you see he's very respectful. That is one thing about him that I noticed, that is a very respectful person. And whatever you see him throw on social media, the things he posts and people are insulting him, sometimes I ask myself if it's the Yolo Doche that I spoke with. You know, he has this reference for a woman of God. He respected me and was nodding. I was like, yes, ma, you know, okay, you know, listening to what I said, and very respectfully. So, you know, when people are saying this thing, me, I sometimes tell myself, I know this is not him. It is
Either he's not the one posting, or he's either engineered to post out of fear. I don't know, but the person I spoke with last year, February the 5th,
is a very nice person. And yes, I spoke with him.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you said some of the conversations, you mentioned some of the things you discussed with him, but you said the other things are confidential, correct?
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay.
Now, I know some people like Victoria Yama and all, and Wuche something has come to say, oh, they're tired, and why am I saying it now? I don't need to reveal a prophecy that I have given to somebody for the whole world to see. Now, let me even say the true story. The first person I contacted when I saw the revelation about the afflictions in the household of May Edochie was May Edochie. Now, I tested May Edochie, I think in the month of February or in the month of January, the ending. So I'm usually somebody that if I send you a text, and if you don't read my message within 2 days, I feel it's not necessary, I delete it. That is something about me. I unsend the message. So I sent her a message, and, you know, I think it was there on her DM. I know I'm following her, but, you know, and she didn't, you know, listen to the, you know, read the message. But part of the things I told her, and God will bear me witness as I speak, I don't know if she has filed for divorce, but I saw that she was filing for divorce to get out of her marriage. And one of the messages I tested her was, don't leave your marriage. Everything is going to come back to normal. Don't leave your marriage. This is a trying time. Because in the spirit, I saw that she left her marriage and she's not meant to leave the marriage. So I tested her and said, don't leave your marriage. I also tested her and I said, please pray for your children, you know, the afflictions, and your husband too. He's in a deep issue that is unable to get out of. So those are the messages I sent to her. So after some days she did not read, I unsent my message. Then I started sourcing for Yolo Edochie's number. I could not easily get her number. A few persons I spoke with, in the industry, did not have a number, but they said they had Yolo Edochie's number. So I said, okay, I will speak to Yolo Edochie. The main person I wanted to speak with was not even Yolo Edochie. It was May Edochie. So I reached out to Yol with the text I showed you and told him then that on the 5th I called him. Now I called Yol I think around past 10 p.m. because that was when I became available. My schedules in the daytime and all. So it was maybe around past 10 p.m. was when I spoke to Yolo Edochie, and he was awake, and we spoke till past 11 p.m. Now, if you see from the screenshot, I'm in America, I'm in Dallas, and the screenshot says that I sent him a text message after the call at 11:12 p.m. That is around like 12 p.m. 12 past 11 p.m. in Nigeria, because Nigeria is 7 hours in this season, you know, above Nigeria in terms of time. Sorry, Nigeria is 7 hours ahead of US. Yes. So when I spoke to him, it was that night. We spoke for a long time. But what I noticed was that as we spoke, he was so cold. He was not able to express himself as we were speaking. He was just saying, yes, ma, you know, yes, pastor, I will do okay. So one of the first things I told him, so when he was not free, the Lord opened my eye and I saw that Judy was there with him. I'm sorry, I didn't want to mention name at the start of this, but I guess that the free started with mentioning names. I sensed that the woman was with him, you know, and I sensed that he was not comfortable to open up enough for me. The other message I blocked was because I said, be free to open up. You know, I can even show you, I told him my name and all. I said, be free to open up, because I knew he could not to open up, but he was accepting the things I was saying and, you know, yes, okay, yes. So when I saw that the other woman was there by him, I said, okay, this guy is not going to be able to talk a lot. But I decided to go ahead and say the things I said. Now, For those people who are doubting if I had a conversation with Yul and the things that we said, I want you all to go to Judy's post on the 5th of February. She posted something immediately after our call on Facebook and on Instagram. Now, this is the 5th of February. If you can see my screen, I'm sorry, let me do something here, right here, real quick. To confirm what the Holy Ghost told me. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? This is the 5th of February, right? That was immediately after my communication. If there's any computer experts that can, this is also what, the 5th of
February, right? So you see the love emoji she did because of the conversation she knew I had with you and the prophecy she knew I was giving you.
And if things were okay, Yo should have been out of where he is. You see? If anybody that is online can help me unlock, I don't know, Instagram doesn't tell you the time that somebody posts, especially when it's over a year ago. I would give that person 100,000. If you can help me unlock the time that somebody posted. You know, I just want to prove these things because after I posted,
the Lord told me that her spirit is going to be restless. And immediately the call dropped. She made these 2 posts that you are seeing here. That night, the love emoji,
she said love. And, you know, had herself hold a man, like a woman holding a man. You understand? And then the next thing she posted about the movie, she didn't do that all day. She did that around past 11 p.m. after my call with Yul Edochie. Now, that is, by the way, part of the things I told Yul was the things I tried to tell his wife that don't divorce. And I had already seen that this is going to get to a divorce issue. So I told him, I said, Yul Edochie, now I'm going to speak to you as a woman of God and also as a mother and as a wife. If Judy was in place of May, do you think she would take what May has taken? I said she will do a lot. So I know you are vexed in your spirits the way May is going about things, but I want you to know that she has every right to make the decision she's making because she's deeply hurt. I said she is going to put for a divorce, but don't sign it and don't divorce her. I said delay the divorce. Make sure you don't append your divorce on that paper. That's what I told him on the 5th of February. Now, I don't know if she had already done it, but I saw she was going to do it. I said, please don't divorce your wife. She is your wife ordained by God.
Whatever you are seeing now, you're going to get out of it. So don't put a divorce and leave the woman that is really your wife. He said, yes, ma. I said, don't do it. I said, it's going to come to that time, but remember, I told you. Now that passed. And I told him, I said, Yul Edochie, where you are today,
you don't want to be there. If you are given the opportunity to do this again, you will not do this. He said, yes. I said, if you're given the opportunity to live through this thing again, I said, you will not make the mistakes you make. I said, you actually went and you got more than you bargained. I said, you didn't know it's going to play like this. I said, but don't worry. God is going to deliver you. I said, the reason why I'm calling is because of the vision I saw about you. I saw that you got to the point where you made the decision to leave this marriage or this relationship. And then the next thing, that the person you left was so hot. The woman, because you left her, was so hot that they said they were going to either change you to a vegetable than have you live and be successful with the other person. And one of the things I saw happen to you was you had a stroke. You started walking one-sided, and then the next thing I saw happen to you was you started talking incoherently with like somebody that has a mental issues. I said, but there are certain rights that can be done. A deliverance section can be done for you to successfully live here. Now, to back up what I told him,
when I entered and told him about the son, I told him the story of a family person that I know, not a distant, about a man who got trapped with a woman. You know, the man was a police officer. He started dating this woman who sold drinks. And then when he started going there, one thing led to another, he got hooked up with the woman and he started living there and wasn't coming home. Now, the wife thought she was, had a restaurant building the family, but she did not know that the husband was living
with a woman and he said he was at work. So the children were growing. When this woman realized, when the man, okay, what even happened is a police officer came and told the woman that your husband is living with a woman. You understand? And the woman said what? And she went there and found out the whole truth. And that was when issues started in the marriage. So later the man now could not hide it and, expose the whole thing. like that. And the next thing, he kicked the woman out of the marriage. But later, years after, the man realized himself. He was a police officer. He realized himself for some reason. I will not, mention names. He realized himself, and when he went to the woman's place, he slept there for 2 days and told the wife that this woman will not live here. They lived in the barracks. That if I work for a transfer, I will transfer to another state. And when I go to this other state, I will take you with me and not her. And if she continues to stay here, they will drive her out of the house. So the wife said, okay, because she was ready to come back to her husband. That man came back to the house. As he came back to the house, he slept. The next day, he was with his friends, police officers. He stood up and fell down, and he died right there, had a cardiac arrest. Because this other woman said, you cannot. Because when that man made that decision, she said, you cannot put me to shame. I have taken so many insults when I came into your life. People said, I go marry this person's wife, a husband or something, so that you know, go put me to that shame. And she did what she, what she was supposed to do. She did it. The man is dead. So I also told him the story. I said, there is a particular boy, a young man. Now, this man had a son as the second child, but the first child is a daughter. The first son is the second child of the marriage. The man has been married to this man for a lot of years. The children were growing up, and this boy was working as a security officer. So something happened that this man now got hooked, to another woman, brought the woman home as a wife. Now, this woman is from a marine kingdom that would not share, but they can pretend like they want to share, but they want to have the lead. And the woman told herself that I am going to be the one to have this man's first son, not the other person, because of inheritance and everything. And she also knew that if I continue to lead this, this woman's children, it is the thing that binds this family, because the man truly loves his children, that I'm going to take this one away. So how she did that was, this boy was working as a security officer in a microfinance
bank in Computer Village, Ikeja. So the woman's engineer things in the spirit that they were going to storm the bank, and the boy was a security officer, guiding the door. And the first things the armed robbers did was to shoot the boy, and he died right there, so that there will be no traces to her. I told you, Edochie, this thing. You understand? I said, well, how God delivered this boy was on the 31st night, they went for a video, a crossover. A man of God, we did not know this boy, this family from nowhere, called his name. He called his name, and I told Edochie that this woman who is trying to do this, her name is also J.U. I told you the full name, but I'm going to say J.U. here, but I told him the full name. You understand? I said, but when God revealed this on the 31st night, they told the boy that you're working in Computer Village at a security. On this day in March, you're going to be the one at work. And I see that armed robbers came, you're the one at the door, and they shot you. When they said so, I was in that video. Because this is a family members, I'm telling you. The mother fell on the floor and started crying. The man of God now told him that, don't go back to that work. I will give you a job if I have to. So that is how the boy resigned from that job that night. Then after telling him that parable, I wanted him to have some, calculations and all. And I told him, I said, pray for your son, your first son. Pray for him. Because a woman is going to take him. You see the same story, I want you to reason what I have told you. He said, okay, ma. I said, there are certain things that can be done to advert this. And I told him the name of our church. I said, we are World Redemption Ministries. What we do is deliverance from these bondages and everything. You understand? I said, talk to us. We can avert the plans, and let your wife know. And before I went, I said, do not divorce your wife. She's going to bring forth a divorce. Don't sign it. She is your wife. God is going to reveal these things to you, and you will see the truth for yourself, what I have said today. He said, okay, ma, thank you, woman of God. And I said, okay, good night. So that is why I tested him later
and told him that God would reveal the same truth and everything to him. And okay, I don't know if you have another question to ask before I react to something they said about money or something.
Oh yeah, I was even going to ask you about that.
Okay, please.
I heard that something about Daddy Free saying that you were asking him for money or begging for money or something like that. So I want you to just react to that once and for all.
Okay, I'm going to just quickly say this. Daddy Free, I'm not sure he loves Edochie, because I think he's just doing this for clout and for everything. And I'm going to come to Daddy Free's area now. Sincerely speaking, by the grace of God, with no, I am not a proud person. Am I supposed to give Edochie money, or Edochie is supposed to give me money? That is the question that I'm going to ask. Who is supposed to give each other money?
Now, we have a ministry. If you want to bless the ministry, you're welcome, because when you bless the work of God, you'll be blessed. But I have never called anybody and say, please give me money. I don't like to blow my trumpet. The likes of Ben Ayade, for years I spoke with him when he was governor. I never for one day, Governor Ben Ayade would never tell you I begged him for money. The likes of Betta Edu, the Minister for Humanitarian Work, you know, even when we spoke before the election, I had given her prophecies about the election.
I said, girl, you need to come to the US. Don't worry, I'll host you in my house. She said, please, after the election, I'm tired. Betta Edu would never tell you that I have begged her for money. Okay. The German, the German hospital in Cross River State, that is the state-of-the-art hospital in Nigeria, was my vision to Ben Ayade. I was the one who told him to do that project. He never had that vision from anywhere. And in the midst of anything, I never told Ben Ayade to give me money. So who is you that I'll ask to give me money? It's insulting, and that is why I said I have to come out and clear this. Okay, I gave Ben Ayade in 2019 the vision. I said, whatever thing, whatever is a government thing would go with time. But what you put for your people is what people are going to sing your praise. I said, do something that no hospital in Nigeria can measure up to. Start a hospital in your hometown. And he did it in his hometown, everything.
When I spoke to him, he said it was in Russia, that after the election, let's talk more. Every plan you see there was my idea, was my vision for him. I'm also in the health sector. I told him everything as God has led me. I never begged Ben Ayade for money. I never begged. I have given so many ministers, politicians, prophecy and things indoors. I have never asked them for money. If any said Prophetess Francisca Emmanuel has asked them for money, please let them say it.
And yeah, so don't leave that freeze. Okay, now I'm going to just say, when I said I want to review some things, now people should stop believing the things that the freeze tells them. In the spirit, if God opens your eyes, you will see that the freeze is an antichrist. And I'm going to say this: a person that carries the mark of the beast is an antichrist. Whatever he is doing is using his, celebrity status to lure a lot of children out of God and out of biblical rituals. Don't take the things he says
serious. He has legions of demons living in him. He needs to be delivered. That the freeze needs deliverance. And I'm going to say this, if he ever watches it, I am challenging him to a deliverance section. If we, myself and Apostle Toby Emmanuel of World Redemption Ministries, lays our hands on that freeze and he does not manifest and demons speak out and send out, I will drop the Bible for him. So people should stop believing the things he said. He's a confused person. One, he had a messed up, a messed up childhood. He's saying that they did not kill him, but things were taken out of him. He's working, that's an antichrist working for the devil. And I'm going to say this to Daddy Freeze. Please, these are not things he has said. I am not saying this because I'm trying to mess him up. No, I am saying this because I want to help him. Okay? He has had issues in his marriages. He's coming to use, all these ties to, insult Yul Edochie every time. Try to drag him to get the traffic and all. He says men of God are begging for money, but he's the one always begging for money. He's the one always, he said, don't give to men of God, but every time you say, buy me stars, buy me shotgun or whatever, that is begging. He is begging. The same thing he's saying, don't do. There are churches everywhere. He's the one doing it. And this man, okay, God help me. How do I put this? Now, I'm going to say this. I don't say the things that I have not been led to say. His marriage is having more issues than Yul Edochie's marriage was ever having. His wife is not satisfied in that marriage. Because you know why? That the priest has a spiritual wife that makes his manhood not to stand and do his biblical thing. I'm sorry I'm saying this thing because I know he needs help. Now, whatever drugs he is taking to help him boost his ego with his wife is not going to work, because the reason why he's having erectile dysfunction is because of the spiritual wife that he has, that is a very jealous one. And he will continue to have marriages where he cannot satisfy the woman. His wife can come out and do a disclaimer. But he should first of all think of taking his manhood up. First of all, think about giving him his wife that satisfaction and getting the spiritual wife behind him. I have not say this to Yabim in any way. I am saying this because we can help him. The reason why that his first manhood is not getting up and performing well, he's secretly taking some medications and also that, you know, he doesn't have too much issues in this marriage is because he has a spiritual wife that needs to be casted out. He has a spiritual wife that needs to be casted out. He will continue to have that erectile dysfunction until a deliverance is done on him.
So you are saying
If he doesn't want to come to World
revelation
Redemption
prophecy.
Ministries, he should go to a nearby church. See, the success and the deliverance of Daddy Freeze lies in the hand of a man of God. He has issues that he knows. So instead of him always coming out to insult men of God, his deliverance is in the hands of a man of God. He should look for a genuine one in Nigeria.
Mm.
We're in Dallas, Texas. If he can come to US, we will help him by the grace of God. But he can look. Anyways, the good news is we are also coming to Nigeria this year. So a lot of family bondages. I have gotten so many this thing. I have so many people in assignment, my husband and all. But we are coming to liberate people from things like this. Spiritual husbands and wives. I will be talking more about it. That the reason why sometimes people cannot enjoy their marriage. The high rate of divorce is what you see there. Spiritual husband and wife. Issues in the marriages.
Prophet,
So
this
Daddy Freeze
what
has
you
a
have said
problem.
now is
It
by,
lies in the
like,
hands
what
of a
you have
man of
said
God.
sorry, ma. What you have said is by revelation about what you just
Yes,
said about Daddy Freeze. So it's not that
he
you are
can
trying
he
to
can come
just.
out and tell me I'm lying. His wife
So
should
his
come
wife can issue a
out and do a
disclaimer to
disclaimer. And now this problem has started for a long time, even with his first marriage. That woman was tortured mentally. Now, for a man who is sad, already he feels inferior. He's always insulting his women because he feels like if he does not insult you first, you will insult him. So he brings a counter attack so that you don't even attack him first. So his first marriage suffered this thing, erectile issues, dysfunction. You understand? He's not able to perform his right as a man. And it went on with that marriage. That woman lived through the marriage, went through everything, and it's still happening now in this marriage.
Oh my God.
He needs deliverance. I'm saying this because I don't think I need, when he came out and insulted me and said I was begging for money, he did not test me to get clarifications and ask, were you begging for money or did you not beg for money? Or he did not even try to go and know who I am.
On what basis did he make that claim? I just need
I don't know why he made the claim that I may have spoken to Edochie and told him to give me money. That was very insulting. Even when I posted it, somebody on my Facebook account said, Jesus, does he know who you are? I laughed. If I have ever begged, see, I'm going to say this now, please, to every celebrity I've spoken to, both to Mama G, Persons Zoko, Chinere Wilfred, and every other celebrities that likes, Teco Benson, all the producers and all that I speak with. If I've ever asked any of them for money, please come out and say that. Instead, we'll speak on the ministry level. I was supposed to host Mama G, Persons Zoko, last year. She told me, she was in Canada and everything. 1 or 2 meetings I had could not, I had to dash that out. We didn't have that meeting. So if I've spoken to, women and men of caliber, politicians, ministers, governors, and no one will say that this woman of God begged me for money, I don't know why I'll be begging Edochie money. Instead, I will bless him. I know he's going through a lot that he cannot come and say here. Even one of the revelations I told you all was I wanted to invite the wife, May, and the children to come to US because I know what I was seeing was just too bad. Them staying there. They needed a covering here. I even went ahead and said, we are a ministry. I don't even mind. We'll do a documentation for them and have them legally stay here. I told Edochie that if any of these things I have said is a lie, let Edochie please disclaim what I have said. But if it's not, let God be everybody witness. That is all I can say.
Okay, ma. It's been a very interesting conversation. I mean,
Thank
I know
you.
that
I understand why you felt the need to do this because you clearly wanted to put to rest whatever rumors were being.
Yes, he came on live and was discrediting. He likes to discredit the man of God, and that is not good because his help lies in the hand of a man of God. He should come out of his shadows. He's confused. So instead of discrediting them with the hate he has and everything, he should come out there can help him. They are the one to help him. His help lies in the hand of
real, a genuine, not anyhow, a genuine man of God. So him
Coming on live yesterday, insulting me, discrediting me, saying things like I was begging for money was really sad. And he's trying to pull the attention of the prophecy I am giving now, that let nothing happen to the children of May again, Edochie. I did this. Now, I am not somebody that chased clout. Somebody will say, why did I not do it
since last year when
Exactly.
it
I was gonna
happened?
ask.
Why did I not do it? I don't do it because if I come out and say I told the father, people will blame him. I am not a cloud chaser. The reason why I came to do it now is because I still don't have May's number. I still don't have her number. And I am doing it now because now the woman who is behind the atrocities in the life of, May Edochie has seen that her secret has been exposed. They will put a stop to what they want to do, or a temporary hold, but she needs to take her children and pray. She needs prayer more than anything on top of her children and herself. It's an affliction, but they will go down for her sake in Jesus' name.
Okay. Thank you so much, prophetess. Thank you so much for coming on the live.
Thank
and
you.
for sharing your own side of the story. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Do enjoy
Yeah, I
the rest of
appreciate
the
it.
evening.
All right. Thank you. You too.